Right.
It's 70K. That's like what teachers and other people make, which is crazy, you know? People thought she's getting paid $700,000. No, it's from endorsements.
Caitlin Clark just shook the WNBA again, but not with a shot, with the truth.
But the W is not even rewarding her.
Right.
Like she's on that rookie contract making, I think, like 70K.
The league's biggest star is making just $76,000 a year.
The WNBA is not successful. Caitlin Clark is successful.
While packing arenas, driving ratings, and carrying the brand on her back. And now players are speaking out, saying the league isn't just underpaying Caitlin, it's holding everyone back. If you believe Caitlin deserves better, drop a comment below. Let's unpack what just happened and why this could change everything.
The W is not even rewarding her.
Right.
Like she's on that rookie contract making, I think, like 70K.
She doesn't even get paid till like later.
Let's start with the number that's catching everyone off guard, $76,000. That's Caitlin Clark's official WNBA salary this season, not $700,000, not $500,000.
Right.
It's 70K. That's like what teachers and other people make, which is crazy, you know?
Just $76,000. That's what teachers, local managers, or even first-year tech support workers make.
A sold-out crowd in Indianapolis, the only city in the country where pretend basketball consistently sells out.
They should get paid what they deserve because they're putting in the same work, they're putting the same hours, they're putting everything your body's going through is the same that the men and anybody else.
But Caitlin, she's the face of the league. She's selling out arenas in every city. She's pushing TV ratings to historic highs. And she's the reason the WNBA is trending in places it never has before. Yet she's earning less than the average G League player in the NBA's development system.
People were talking about, you were very vocal about the Caitlin Clark situation, especially on your TikTok, stuff like that, where people thought she's getting paid $700,000. No, it's from endorsements, y'all.
Right.
And here's the crazy part. Many casual fans thought she was already rich from the WNBA. But that $700,000 figure going around, that's all endorsements. Brands like Nike, State Farm, and Gatorade. It's not league money.
So we want to talk about business. Yeah, like no other person would do that in any other profession.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
So like, why would we?
Right.
Because they're women?
Gabby Williams, a rising star herself, exposed the truth in a recent interview. She confirmed Caitlin's WNBA salary and admitted players are frustrated. They're being asked to prioritize the league, but there's no financial incentive to do so.
But there wasn't like a reward for it, you know? I'm like, okay, if you want me to be here.
She said it best. If you want me to be here, pay me more to be here.
The highest paid woman, for example, is our girl Jackie Young, which makes 250 plus, right? And that's 250K.
And it's not just Caitlin. Even the highest paid WNBA player right now, Jackie Young, earns only $250,000. That's a fraction of what backup NBA players earn. And Caitlin's making less than 1/3 of that.
Okay, as I was like on the plane coming back from Hungary, so I do know that feeling of just like, wow. And I know Julie probably really felt that was her family.
Yes.
And then you have to learn the hard way that it's not.
No.
It's not your family.
As
much as you love these people, it's a business, and sometimes you have to learn that the hard way.
Gabby explained how this leads to burnout. Players are forced to go overseas, to France, Turkey, Hungary, just to make ends meet in the off-season.
Well, I mean, the proof was with NILs. As soon as we got marketed, the game all of a sudden grew. Like, weird. As soon as we were allowed to, have marketability and visibility, now all of a sudden everyone's making money. Like, interesting how that works.
Yeah.
You gotta put in money to make money.
And still, they come back to play 40-plus games in the WNBA for what many consider entry-level pay. But Caitlin? She doesn't complain. She keeps showing up, giving her all. Still, her salary is exposing just how outdated the WNBA pay structure is. And now fans, teammates, and even critics are calling it what it is. Embarrassing.
It would make sense if you were paying me more to be here, but you're not paying me even close. So we want to talk about business. Yeah, like no other person would do that in any other profession.
Right.
Exactly. So like, why would we?
Right.
Because they're women?
Because when the league's top star is carrying the weight of the WNBA on her shoulders and being paid like a trainee, something is seriously broken. If you thought Caitlin Clark's regular salary was shocking, wait till you hear what WNBA players get for making the All-Star team.
NBA players are given $125,000 for showing up to the All-Star game and humiliating the league. WNBA players actually compete at the All-Star game, and the league gives them minimum wage for it.
A game that's supposed to celebrate the best of the best. While NBA players walk away with $125,000 just for showing up, even if they barely break a sweat. WNBA players like Caitlin get a measly $2,500. That's right, $2,500. Caitlin is bringing in sold-out crowds, boosting All-Star viewership, and giving the game everything she's got.
I have sponsors that pay me more than that to advertise on my channel. I am no defender of WNBA players, but even I think this is ridiculous.
And the league thanks her with a bonus that's less than what many YouTubers make from a single video. Even critics of the WNBA, people who normally mock the league, are saying this payout is a joke. One creator pointed out that sponsors pay him more than $2,500 just to promote a product. And yet that's what the WNBA offers its biggest stars during their most high-profile weekend of the year.
Yeah, no shit. If the people involved with this league understood the business of basketball, by now, someone would have figured out a way to monetize this turd.
This isn't just about Caitlin. It's about how the league refuses to evolve. Because when your top stars are risking injury and competing hard, not just showing up for selfies, the least they deserve is real compensation. And here's the kicker. Caitlin is actually competing in these games. There's intensity, there's pride, and there's performance.
I recognize the space that I'm in for sure. Even every day, I'm like, dang, I told Nika today, I was like, I used to go to your camps, like at Stanford. In high school, we used to all wear the Skylar Diggins headband. Like, I know exactly who, when I got to play in Fenner with Emma, and I'm like the greatest European basketball player of all time, I think. And I'm like, I am a fan first of all these people. So I'm like, when you talk, I listen. Like, that's who I want to learn from. That's who I know how lucky I am to be in these spaces. When I was with Sue, I was like, let me go home and write down everything she said.
But the WNBA is stuck in a model that feels more like a high school award show than a professional showcase. This moment exposed how out of touch the league's priorities really are. They promote the players when it's convenient, but when it comes time to actually pay them, they hide behind excuses. If this is how the WNBA treats Caitlin Clark at her peak, what does that say to the rest of the league?
So we want to talk about business. Yeah, like no other person would do that in any other profession.
Right. Exactly.
So like, why would we?
Right.
Because they're women?
Caitlin Clark's salary has sparked a deeper issue. The WNBA is at real risk of losing its brightest stars if things don't change. Because it's not just about underpayment anymore. It's about mistrust, mismanagement, and a growing feeling among players that the league doesn't value them.
The new CBA offer. Because y'all need more. Y'all want more.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, we see the numbers too.
Yes.
That's what the owners, I don't know if they're understanding or whoever the league is. We see the numbers too, and we know that like they are making money.
Yeah.
And nowhere is that clearer than in the battle over the new CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. Recently, WNBA players, including some of the league's top talent, rejected a new CBA proposal from the league. Why? Because it didn't fix the real problems.
All of the NBA players will give their salaries to WNBA players until the pay is equal if all of the female OnlyFans and magazine models donate their money to men until it is also equal.
The salary cap was still low, benefits were still weak, and players felt like they were being punished for wanting to play overseas just to make a living.
Yeah, prioritization is just such a weird one because they were just like so harsh on the punishment for missing, but there wasn't like a reward for it. You know, I'm like, okay, if you want me to be here, it would make sense if you were paying me more to be here, but you're not paying me even close.
Gabby Williams, an all-star herself, called it out. They want us to stay, but they don't want to pay us. Players are told they must prioritize the WNBA, but there's no meaningful reward, just threats of fines and suspensions for not being available. Meanwhile, most of them make more money in Europe or in college through NIL deals than they do in the league. And here's where it gets even more complicated.
ESPN dedicated an entire hour to the All-Star Game draft. The show was hosted by Malika Andrews, which was mistake number one. If Malika Andrews could get the hell out of her own way, she could be a talented host, but she just seems so desperate. She is trying so hard to be accepted by the cool kids. I felt secondhand embarrassment last night watching Malika Andrews host this show. Hey guys and gals, it's me, Malika Andrews. I'm so honored to be sitting here with these two legends, Caitlin Clark, Napheesa Collier. They're going to be picking teams for the must-see All-Star Game. It's going to be super duper.
Napheesa Collier, a current WNBA player, helped create a new league called Unrivaled. It promises better pay, equity ownership, and player empowerment. The very things missing in the WNBA today.
Napheesa Collier is wearing a shirt promoting Unrivaled. Not only that, Unrivaled was actually mentioned during the broadcast.
And during a nationally broadcast All-Star event, she wore an Unrivaled shirt on air. That wasn't an accident. It was a message, loud and clear. That message? We're building our own path because this league doesn't get it.
If you're Kat Engelbert, how in the hell do you allow that to happen? One of two things must be true here. Either Kat Engelbert is incompetent or Napheesa Collier has no respect for her. Either way, it ain't a good look. And neither is this headline of the New York Post. The embarrassingly low bonus that the WNBA gives its all-stars.
It's no coincidence that Caitlin Clark's rise is happening at this exact moment. Her success has exposed the gap between what players bring to the league and what they actually get in return. The league has relied on Caitlin's popularity, using her to draw fans, sponsors, and headlines.
The CBA, with stuff like that, you guys not getting paid. And you said it before. It's like, you can't get mad if I got to go get money over here and I got to do this if you're not going to pay me. And we're not getting paid. We're not getting what we need.
But when it comes to pay, they hand her a rookie contract and a $2,500 All-Star bonus. Players are noticing, fans are noticing, and the cracks are showing. Then there's the situation with international star Julie Van Loo.
What is your message to the sporting industry about why women deserve to make just as much as men do?
Just wake up and realize that without women, where are we at?
Who rushed back from winning a European title only to be cut by her WNBA team while landing at the airport. No heads up, no respect, just business.
Well, I mean, the proof was with NILs. As soon as we got marketed, the game all of a sudden grew. Like, weird. As soon as we were allowed to, have marketability and visibility, now all of a sudden everyone's making money. Like, interesting how that works.
Yeah.
You gotta put in money to make money.
And that business looks uglier every day. So ask yourself, what's keeping the stars in this league? Certainly not the money, not the treatment, and not the stability. If the WNBA doesn't evolve fast, it won't be Caitlin Clark leading the league forward. It'll be Caitlin Clark walking away from it.
And then Udonis Haslem basically pulling LeBron James aside and being like, you can afford this. There are players here that will never play in the league again. They need this money. If we don't get this money, it's going to affect their lives. It's not going to affect you.
Caitlin Clark has done everything right. She's elevated the WNBA, packed arenas, drawn national attention, and shown up game after game with heart, hustle, and humility. But now her $76,000 salary, her $2,500 All-Star bonus, and the league's broken system have exposed a deeper truth.
But there wasn't a reward for it, I'm like, okay, if you want me to be here.
The WNBA still doesn't know how to treat its stars. And this isn't just about one player. It's about an entire league at a crossroads. The fans have shown up. The money is flowing in.
When I got to play in Fenner with Emma, and I'm the greatest European basketball player of all time, I think, and I'm I am a fan first of all these people. So I'm when you talk, I listen. That's who I want to learn from. That's who I know how lucky I am to be in these spaces. When I was with Sue, I was let me go home and write down everything she said.
The talent is undeniable. So why is the system still stuck in the past? If the WNBA wants to survive and thrive, it must evolve. Not next season, Not in 5 years, right now.
It would make sense if you were paying me more to be here, but you're not paying me even close to like.
Because stars like Caitlin Clark won't wait forever. And if they walk away, they're not just leaving a game behind. They're leaving a system that refused to see their worth. If you believe Caitlin...
Like the Unrivaled process, they'd be acting in the best interest of the players. Like, that's what it's there. Unrivaled is there for the players at the end of the day. That is what it's there for. So I'm not going to go out here and say that they're not going to do that. And I think that there's a big difference between saying they are conspiring to put the league into lockout and saying that this is bad, the optics aren't good here, to saying that something can happen. Because look, we don't know who Fee is as a person. It's a result in less money year round for WNBA players. So I didn't take his post, they're conspiring, his post saying it could be a conflict of interest, which is, it is. I mean this when I say this. It could be a conflict of interest. Not that it
deserves better. If you believe every player putting their body on the line deserves more than excuses, drop your thoughts in the comments and hit that subscribe button. This isn't just a salary issue. This is a wake-up call. And Caitlin Clark just rang the bell.